What's up, guys? Welcome to BroBeatzTV. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make a rap beat using FL Studio. Here's a preview of what we're gonna be making today. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we're gonna start with our melody. BPM 140. These things don't matter too much, it's just up to you, but 140 for me. This is the sound I'm using right here. Okay, any sounds I'm using will be linked in the description or comment section down below. I'm grabbing a scale. We could just do a C minor. Doesn't really matter, you can always transpose later, but you just want something to start with. Okay, so let's close that. Let's go in here, and I'm gonna make this extremely easy. We're gonna just use some old tricks. So we're gonna put our little sound here, and let's shrink that down. Do like this. And what we're gonna do is take this, and then we're gonna go down 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then you'll just pull that up an octave. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. We can even shrink this down so it's easier to look at, and we just move this over like so, and let's copy. Let's maybe do like something in between. Now, how do you know what note to use to go from here to here? You could just make a chord upward like this, right? You could just use these notes, or you could just use your ear. It doesn't really matter, right? It's all the same. So we can use this note, and I'm gonna just copy this over here, and this is just gonna be like our bass line. We'll just copy these over. Oops, and we can just leave a little space so it's not so perfect. Okay, so that'll be our bass line. Okay, so now we got a nice loop. So for the melody up top, pretty simple. Since we started on our key, you can just pull this up, and then you can pretty much just make a fifth. You just go up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Boom, now you have your fifth. Now notes to come from here, you can just make a chord out of this, or you can just start adding what other notes you want, but typically you want to add one of these notes in here. Okay, so you can kind of figure out what you want to do. I'm gonna just make something, shrink it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna take this and make a chord upward. Okay, and then we can just copy this over, really, to be honest. And I'm gonna stick with that. I think that's something that we can repeat, and you would just repeat this the whole time. Now, if you want to add variation, you can, but that's why we have our other instruments, is to add that variation that we need later. I might make this a little bit longer too, or we could just put this on bar so it repeats. Like, so if we added the different notes over here, it should repeat. Or I guess it's not, but I'll have it activated. There it is, right? So you see it's repeating now. I don't know why it's not repeating the whole thing, but just to be safe, I'm gonna just copy it over because I can't trust FL right now. So yeah, we'll have that, and then let's go ahead and move on to our second sound. So I'll just play this real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. For our next little sound we're gonna use is this 𝗦𝗧𝗦𝗧𝗦. So it's like a little lead, right? So since it's like a lead, we want to go real simple. You don't want to overdo it. So you could just literally, it depends what you want to do, right? But if you want to make something dark, you can kind of use these little half steps here. Play around with that. So I don't know, let's try one of these. Maybe we can make this a lot longer. Make a chord backwards like this. So we have this, and then we can just stretch it out. See how that sounds? I'm gonna pull that up. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this, copy it over. I don't want this playing the entire time, and that's why I kind of left spaces. And then we're gonna just kind of pull this up. So what I would do here is make a chord upward. Okay. Oops. And I mean, I guess we could just pull some of these up an octave and then just pull them over. Just add like a little in there. Let's see what that will sound like. We need to adjust. Let's see. Okay, sounds good to me. So we got pretty nice start on our melody. So let's go ahead. And I think honestly, what I want to do so we can get a nice reference is start with our bass. So let's go ahead and add that in. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw in our bass. So this is the sound I'm using, like a Reese, it's like Reese bass. So we're gonna go in, and it's gonna be the same bass line as this, except we'll just probably, you know, look it up a bit. So I'm gonna just kind of look at the notes. Right, and this will kind of bring everything together. Oops. Okay, and then we can copy it over and just make some few variations. So we can pull this up, and maybe we can play around with the octave a bit. Maybe bring this back here so we have a nice little rhythm. Let me see. And then we got to make sure this is pulled back. So there it is. There's our bass line. I'll just play it from the top right here. All right, so let's go ahead and add our other sound. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in another one of those sounds. So I just have this key. Okay, so we're just gonna add some little accents in here. Let's pull this in a lot. And with this, at this point, you can kind of play around a bit. So we could just start on our root, pull that up. And I'm gonna actually go a lot smaller, like 1/2. Then you can just kind of play around with some of these. Now I'm gonna mute this so these don't clash, and of course we'll like mix it and stuff. Okay, and I think that's just something light we can use. It doesn't need to be like this crazy thing that's happening all the time, right? So just copy it over to the 9th bar here, or like I guess this will be like the full 8-bar loop. And then on this side we just kind of copy it over. So yeah, I think that's fine. I'm gonna play it with this. Of course we need to like mix and stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our last instrument. Next up, we have this mono lead. So at this point, you can kind of have fun with it. You know, you don't gotta make like the craziest thing, but it's just kind of just adding that extra layer on top. So we're gonna go in here, and really you just start on your C. I'm gonna go a little higher since most of our melody is like around C5. We can go a little bit higher. Maybe we could do like a little flam. I kind of don't like the way this. Just give it a little bit of variation so it's not perfect. Let's pull this down. Maybe we do like a little flam here. So I'm gonna change the grid to 1/4, zoom in, and basically I'm gonna take this, pull this here, and we're gonna make a chord backwards like so. We just get a nice like jazz E rhythm. I wish I could control like the. And then maybe we can go up, pull this down. Right, and this is just trying things, right? Let me see. Let's put it in the same spot, obviously. Maybe we can come back here at the end. And you can see that with the scale here, this mixes in here. I gotta click back here. Oops. So we'll just use that note, I guess. Let's see. I'm not sure if I want to leave this part empty and just have this playing on one part, but I think that's good enough. I think what we can do now is probably just add, you know, let's go ahead and add our drums. We'll add the effects afterwards. So let's go ahead and add these little drums. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in the drums. Now this should be pretty simple. So we're just going to throw in a kick. We can just throw in our little clap. Okay, and then what I want to do is pull these up a bit and make this one. We can make a unique pattern. Let's see, we can. I kind of want this to be very spaced out. And then all I'm really doing here, if you really look at what I'm doing, I'm pretty much just emphasizing the clap. So everything is moving into the clap, as far as like the snare and the hi-hat. So once you have like this basic rhythm, everything should pretty much complement those bass sounds. To put it simply, and I'm gonna just bar these up so they repeat over and over. I'm still not sure if I should repeat this or not. Nah, I won't do it. We'll just leave it blank. Okay, so we have our drums. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these up. Just pull up the velocity up. I feel like it's a little too much, actually. I want it to sound clean. I would double it up, but I feel like it doesn't need it, but I'm gonna just try it. Yeah, it's a little too distorted. All right, so I think that's fine. We'll make this work. And I'll just play it with these. And then I think the clap needs to be a little bit louder. Okay, so now what I want to do is move into the effects, because I do want to add some stuff on some of these sounds so that everything meshes better. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna quickly go over the effects. So I didn't do too much, I just did basic stuff. You can see like panning certain sounds, taking out the bass in these sounds, except our main bass, of course. Besides the basic stuff, the only thing that I did was I put a portal preset on our main sound, because I was trying to figure out how to, without destroying the sound completely, how do we mesh these together without having to add so many plugins. So I just added this. This is what it sounds like. I gotta turn these off real quick. We could just do this. And this was just way too strong of a sound. So we just kind of diluted it with this preset here. If it loads up. So this is Swing and Sway. And what is this in? Bermuda. And let's turn it on. So this just let the other sounds shine a lot more. So, and then on. Right, so I like that, so I just kept it. And then once I added that, I figured I don't really need to add any more effects really, because I feel like it's fine the way it is. It's just more, you could just kind of like turn stuff down. Now the other thing that I did is put all these in a bus. So I held Control, hovered over empty track, right click, track routing, route select as track only, and then that will put everything into a bus. So now everything is controlled by this. Okay, now last thing I did, I added a fruity limiter to this exact bus here, as you can see. Okay, and then I routed my kick. Okay, I routed the kick into this, so that we could side chain it, so we can have that like that lo-fi pump effect. So if we go to the limiter, and then we go to our comp, so usually it'll be on limit first. Click compressor or comp, go to side chain, right click, and then you can click the one that you want. Okay, so that will be kick. And then from there you could copy these settings, but pretty much to activate it, you want to kind of turn this threshold down, as you can see, turn that down, and then you can mess with the knee, and but like the ratio is the one that you want to have. And then you want to mess with this envelope. So the release is going to give you that pump. So I'll show you what I mean. So if we like pull this all the way up, and what's happening here is, if you don't know about side chaining, right? The kick is, when the kick comes in, this is turning down the entire volume of all of our instruments, which is going to make the kick sound cleaner. Okay, and to get that pump effect, you want the release to be longer. So it's like, as you can see right here, it's like fading back in, which is giving you that like pump. Right, you can see the sharper it is, the quicker that pump is, right? And then we pull it back. Right, and this is just a quick hack to make everything cleaner. Yeah, and then I kind of went crazy on the mix. There's some plugins in here that I wanted to try as I was doing it. I was just, usually I try to like come up with some just different mixes to try different stuff. So this is what I came up with. So I just have this spreader. I just wanted to try this. It said it was like a new thing, so these are just the settings that I have on it, just kind of playing around with it. So this is at 38%, and then I think this is 5%, and yeah, that everything else is pretty much the same. And I'll just turn everything on one by one. So this is off. Oops. You can see it kind of spread it out a little bit. It's not that crazy, but yeah, that's what I did. And then for the EQO, I just kind of picked out certain frequencies that I liked and didn't like, and I would just put them on. Let me make sure I show you this. I would click on drawing mode line, and then you can specifically take out stuff. That's pretty much what I did. So this is what I came up with. Pretty simple. Last thing, I just added a fruity fast distortion. I just thought it would sound cool if we just had a little distortion on there. So this is what it sounds like. just to give it a little bit of rumble. And then I don't think I needed this, but this is just a quick, easy way to kind of rebalance everything. So I just use a frequency splitter, and you can see I just turn down a lot of the mid areas, and then I turn up the highs. I'll zoom in so you can see, and then right here. So this is with it off and then on. I'll probably even push this a little bit. Nah, I'm gonna just keep it where it was at. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then of course, soft clipper on top. You can kind of control like threshold. Alright, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.